Hello, all you wonderful people of the interwebs. I'm the Zodiac Lord, and first of all, please remember not to suggest fusions in the comments because there's a poll in the description. Thank you. The host this week is Pearl. Hi, I didn't mess this one up. I promise. It's okay. I didn't have to just pause and think about that. It's alright. Anyway, so I know honestly last week I kinda requested one, just saying like, yo, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I really want to do this one. I kind of apologize. I know there were some people who was like, I wanted to see this one, but now you swayed the votes, and I'm sorry, but it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I mean, maybe you don't think it's worth it, but I won't. I will try and never to do that again. I promise. I'm sorry. It was an idea in my head, and I wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it, so I got to do it. It's okay. Um, but so yeah, Pearl Aquamarine fusion, hooray! I imagined in my mind, like, it was funny because the idea for this came back when I was looking for hairstyles for the garnet aquamarine fusion that I could use for inspiration, and I stumbled across and I thought of this one hairstyle and I looked at it and I thought, you know what? This would be absolutely perfect for a Pearl Aquamarine fusion. It doesn't look exactly like what their hairstyles would look like combined, I don't think. Um, it honestly doesn't. It doesn't look exactly, directly translated, I guess. But I just thought that the meaning behind it was just so perfect. I just really wanted to go for it. And the funny thing was, I saw last week someone commented saying, just like watch it be like an angry soccer mom that yells at the other parents or yells at the coach, or yells at the kids or whatever. And I was thinking, I just kind of, and someone mentioned the can I speak to the manager here, and I just started laughing maniacally behind the computer screen because that's exactly what I wanted to go for. And I don't know how many of you would agree with me on this one, but I mean, I'm just considering the personalities. I mean, we don't know that much about Aquamarine, even though a lot of people seem to really love her a lot. But she seems just like a pretty snarky, rude, and sassy, high egotistical gem. And then Pearl's our good old salty mom Pearl. So why not that sort of can I speak to the manager mom type of character who thinks she knows who thinks she knows everything and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to go for, and I enjoyed it very much. I wanted to kind of go for something a bit soccer momish. I don't think it really worked out that way in the design. I tried, honestly, but I also kind of wanted to say that I don't want to And I know some people told me this in my Garnet Aquamarine one, told me that they would like to see me take more creative liberties with fusions, and I agree. I think I definitely do need to take more creative liberties with fusions. However, I don't want to get so caught up in trying to fit a theme that I lose the idea of combining them. Because I know people mention that Sardonyx looks nothing like Garnet and Pearl mixed together, but they actually do. If you look at some elements of Sardonyx's outfit compared to their outfits, it does kind of look like them mixed together. And personally, and I want to state this for anyone who didn't know, because I've said it once or twice to some people in specific, but I haven't really said it directly. These fusions that I do, what I usually keep in mind is not a fusion that's had been fusing a lot of times like Sardonyx or Opal or things like that. I like keeping it more in the mind of this is a fusion that's only fused maybe once or twice. Almost similar to Cotton Candy Garnet, but a little bit more organized, so to speak. Like they planned on, almost like Smoky Quartz, I guess. But I guess Smoky Quartz doesn't count because, Smoky Quartz is Smoky Quartz. But I mean, I wanted to go with something like they planned on fusing, but it was like their first time fusing. That was kind of the idea I did going into this. Because in my personal opinion, fusions become more of something entirely new the more that they fuse with each other. Hence why Garnet's first accidental fusion was totally literally taking elements that were fused together, while current Garnet is a lot more her own thing. So that's kind of what I go for, is something a bit more I don't want to say middle groundsy, but like something a bit more like they planned. It's like their first fusion, but rather than it being accidental, they planned on it. Because I think the cotton candy garnet thing was the reason why it looked the way it was because it didn't plan on fusing. You know, it was an accident, so it was almost like they accidentally got shoved into each other. I don't know, but all that's personal theory, so if you don't agree with me, that's cool. You're free to voice your own theories and thoughts in the comments. I'm open to that kind of stuff so long as you are nice about it and you don't yell at people or think that your opinion is the only one that possibly could exist. Anyway, so yeah, I think probably this one is definitely one that wasn't my favorite. I love the theme I went with, and I loved how the design turned out. I don't like the colors, sadly. I think that the colors, I mean, I like how they look, but I don't like how they look compared to the actual, like, gemstone, Lamar, I think it's Larmar, but that's what I don't really like about it, I guess. But then again, not that a lot of other Steven Universe characters follow the color palettes of their gemstones to a T. I mean, look at Sardonyx. She definitely doesn't follow her color scheme exactly from the gem, you know? I mean, look at Garnet. She definitely doesn't either, you know? So I like to think that a gem doesn't need to look exactly like the gemstone they're based off of. But I don't know. All the colors I got on this were gotten from the gem, just maybe hued a little bit one way or the other. So, I mean, technically, you can't really pull that against me. I don't know. But I definitely don't think this was my best one, but I certainly don't think it was my worst. And I love the theme I went for, and I had so much fun with that expression. And the hair was hard, actually. Like, that hairstyle was very difficult. And it's even harder because in all the can I speak with the manager hairstyles, you'll notice they all have the one bang brush behind the ear, but Porl and Aquamarine don't have ears. And also, real quick, if anyone's questioning this, because I know that people pointed out before that my gemstones have ears, and that's because, honestly, well, again, it was before a time that Topaz showed up, so we kind of do have confirmation that they don't technically have ears, but hear me out here. Gems can control the form that they take to an extent, so, I mean, could they not give themselves ears if they wanted to? I mean, logically speaking, I mean, technically gems don't have to have noses either, or mouths for that matter, you know? So why couldn't they give themselves ears if they wanted to give themselves ears? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, is that just me? Am I alone on that? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, enough of my personal headcanons aside. I also want to say that I gave her tiny feet. I don't know why. I thought it was kind of a funny little thing to do because, I mean, Aquamarine's got her little tiny tooth fairy feet. So I thought, hey, why not give her small feet? Why not? I mean, I think maybe this one leans a bit more Porl on the design-wise, but I personally believe that fusions can lean one way or the other, and I think this one definitely leans a bit more to Porl in the design-wise, but I think that it would probably lean a little bit more towards Aquamarine in the personality side. But I do imagine that since Porl and Aquamarine, from what we've seen, don't really like each other that much. So I'd imagine this fusion would be pretty, like, snappy and a bit more impulsive and things like that, because I would imagine slightly unstable with, you know, its personality and stuff like that. But I don't know. You guys can tell me your thoughts. I had fun with it. I thought it turned out pretty snazzy, but I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. So anyway, that's all for this commentary paint. Make sure to go watch the speed paint if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Zodiac out.